One huge factor hanging on the hobby right now is the changes that are coming down from the FAA, and a lot of people are wondering what's going on, what's going to change. I'm with Rich Hansen, who's with the AMA, and his job with the AMA is government and regulatory affairs. He's been directly involved with the FAA. You know what's coming down for us. So, Rich, can you let us know what we can expect and how it's going to affect our hobby?
Well, absolutely, Ken, and I wish I could say I know exactly what's coming down, but I do know a little bit about what they're working on.
Okay.
The big issue that they've been working on for almost a decade now, and very diligently over the last 4 years, is writing regulation that enables the use of unmanned aircraft in the civil airspace.
Right.
Years ago, when they first started federal regulations for aviation, they never envisioned unmanned aircraft flying in the civil airspace.
Mm-hmm.
But over the last couple decades, with all the success of UAV technology in the defense arena and flying over in the war theaters, this technology and these manufacturers and a lot of private entrepreneurs are looking at ways they can use that same technology in the civil environment to conduct business and to perform public safety missions. But there are no regulations that allow them to do that. So
right.
What they're doing now is actually working on regulations that will integrate unmanned aircraft into the civil environment in a safe and effective manner. Now, what does that mean for model aviation? Unfortunately, it kind of brought us into that arena, whereas we've been operating for 100 years, and over the last 30 years, we've been operating under an advisory circular, AC 9157,
right,
that just gave some simple guidelines that says, fly safe. When you're near an airport, let them know you're there, and stay below 400 feet.
Right.
Now that we're actually going to be included in a regulation, they're actually looking at more specific guidelines and regulatory requirements than that. And what we've been doing as AMA and as a community is trying to make sure that we're not put underneath very restrictive, onerous, and unnecessary regulations that will have a detrimental impact on the hobby.
Right.
Basically, what we want to do is continue to do what we do today in a way that we know will keep us safe.
Well, I know a lot of people are scared that the government's going to clamp down on us, and if I understand correctly, what's going on is the government wants, or the FAA wants to try to let us keep self-regulating ourselves as much as possible, and as long as we stay safe, and the AMA is instrumental in trying to keep that to happen. Is that correct?
I think that is correct. I mean, I don't believe that the FAA as an entity really is looking at AMA as something, or model aircraft as something they need to have a lot of oversight over. I mean, they recognize what AMA and the modeling community have done over the decades and have been able to operate safely. All they're doing is making sure that the procedures that get officially put in place are able to continue that way of operations. And the way they put it to us is we took them out and we demonstrated thermal soaring, and we show them how we launched off of a winch and how we catch thermals and how we're able to detect other aircraft in the airspace and effectively see and avoid it. And they said that's great. I mean, so we see nothing unsafe about that whatsoever. Just make sure you can document that and show how you do it.
Okay.
So the challenge is putting what we do as modelers on paper, and we don't always approach our hobby from that technical and detailed of a fashion. So we've had a work group working for over 4 years now on trying to write what the FAA calls standards to put what we do in a safe manner into wording and something that they can look at, bless, and say, yep, as long as you follow these rules, have a great day.
Okay, if I understand correctly, the procedures, the FAA will come out with the proposed regulations for the public to kind of look over, and then there will be a review again, and then they'll go into final rules.
Exactly.
Do we have any kind of estimate on a time frame when it's going to happen? I know it was supposed to happen last year.
That's been the magic question, and I don't have the golden answer to that, but the official projected date right now is July of 2012. Now, you have to couch that in terms knowing that the original date was June of 2011.
Right.
And it has slipped sequentially from then, so we're hopeful that this time they'll be able to meet that deadline.
And I think the biggest thing, I'm really involved with RC Universe and the forums there, so I know what's going on, but I know a lot of people that are scared. I think the biggest thing they could do would probably be to get on the AMA's website, call their AMA rep, or just pay attention, and maybe that'll take some of the fear of what's going to happen. We're not going to get shut down.
No, I mean, it's certainly, I would be the last one to believe and to say that that the model aviation is going to go away or even be significantly impacted by this regulation. The worst case scenario is we may have to pay a little more attention to how we do some things. But as far as still doing the activity, I foresee it as remaining much the same way it is today.
Okay, Rich, I really thank you for taking the time for us. And like I said, if anybody has any questions, the forums, AMA's website, or pick up the phone and call your rep. That'd be the best way to get the answers.
And you can contact me, or my email's on the webpage.
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it.
All right, Ken. Thanks.